Architect Zak Ghanim has designed numerous places of worship throughout southern Ontario for a wide variety of faith groups. He discusses his own unique approach to religious architecture and the effect that a building has on worshippers and on the community in general. Field producer Keith Dunnett presents Zak Ghanim, Architect of Spirit.
My name is Zak Ghanim. I'm the architect of Madina Mosque. And as you can see here, this existing old building will be all demolished. All this gray concrete would be going, and we're going to be replaced with this new facade that kind of have the main entrance on the center of this place. And we're going to have these arcades, of course. It's already finished. We're just painting them. And the minaret, which is the tower, is sitting on the anchor point of the mosque. The whole place is facing Mecca, which is this direction.
Well, architecture is a daily thing that you see. Every building around you does have a psychological effect on you, whether it's a church or a mosque. Well, I really think in any community you're going to find that the church or a mosque or synagogue is surrounded by the people that belong to it, and it becomes really a very important part of their daily routine and daily life, because they consult the priest or imam in most of their personal and even business life, and they take consultation from them about their weddings, their conventions, their meetings, their gathering. And I work for the United Nations, so I used to travel a lot, and I saw this even more in Europe. Sometimes the whole village is based upon a church and how everyone there belong to it, and people meet there, marry there, die there, and it's basically a full life for the community around it. Well, in most of the project that I do, I am usually approached with the client, and usually in mosques or churches, it's a community rather than one person, because as you know, it's not just one person there. And most of the time they have a set of requirements about the space and the size and the height. And from there we do some sketches, and we try all the time to do something unique and new for them, so they really have like a puzzle for them, a little bit something with uniqueness to it that becomes a point of discussion about a new concept, a new iconic symbols on the design.
So the white building was the existing mosque all the way around until we come to here. Then the beige concrete block portion is the addition that we started 2 years ago. So basically what we have here now is the minaret or the tower of the mosque. We have the steel structure is already finished, and this company now is doing all the fiberglass cladding. The black painted area will have reflected windows on them. Then above that we have 2 balconies, and in the very top we're going to have a dome with a crescent on it. Moving this way we have the mihrab, which is the niche that faces Mecca with this glass window in it, and the white building in the back is the existing building that we added all our new structure to it.
Well, one of the most major things in the Islamic architecture is the scale. When you walk in, you've got narrow corridor, and suddenly you've got, let's say, the place of worship. I mean, the hall or the prayer hall. It's huge and high, and the dome in it. So you really feel the impact of power of a holy effect on you, with the very little lights that coming from the dome, almost like rays of the sun coming on the mosque. And all of these things here, it's done one after the other, and has been developed over the year, that has the impact of humbleness on the people once you walk into the mosque, and the effect of the echo of the sound, the way it was designed in a very, very mathematical way, that there is no reflectiveness on the sound anywhere. You say one word there, you hear it at the end of the mosque, because of the calculation of all of these things here. And also the design of the mihrab, which is the niche on the entrance, how everything is leading towards that mihrab, and it affects, that had the effect that you're facing Mecca or this holy place in Saudi Arabia. So all of the design of the mosque and the mathematics part of it, it's really a combination of major factors that gives it that huge power on psychological thing for the prayer.
Basically what we have here is the main facade of the building, which has a series of arches creating an arcade, and each arch has 2 columns in it, and all of them are poured concrete, and the color of them will be all, the shafts will be green like we see there, and the crowns will be all in gold. All the arches will be checkerboard gray and white. The windows that we have here, all of them are a typical Islamic window that actually are open to the interior or the prayer hall behind, and these are exit door from the prayer hall, comes direct to Danforth Avenue. On the other hand, here on the other side, we have the main entrance. This portion here, the gray portion, will be all demolished, and we're going to have the main entrance from
Egypt, which is a very mostly Muslim people, and I grew up in the shadows of the pyramids, so really it's a pretty historic place to grow in and grow around. And Egypt is full of mosques and church and pharaonic building. Everything that you think of in a huge scale is there. And growing up around all of these buildings and historic masterpieces, it's really carved in your blood and your heart how these things should look like, because these things were done by masters one after the other. The Madina Mosque, it was existing, it was a very, very nondescript building. Actually, the whole corridor is a really very, very old, nondescript, nothing special in it. So basically, a neighborhood, once you have a good building done in it by an architect, it really will have definitely a major impact on having everyone try to at least match it, and that's a major impact on by itself.
That's all we have time for this week. Be sure to join us right here on Faith Journal next week with Richard Landau as we examine chaplaincy.